Shamba Maisha is a Swahili word that stands for Farm for Life, and it's a combined agricultural intervention to improve food security, nutrition, and health outcomes of people living with HIV and AIDS. It's being implemented by KEMRI in collaborations with Kickstart and University UCSF. It is becoming better understood that food insecurity, poverty, and gender inequality are both drivers of HIV epidemic in sub-Saharan Africa. But those also actually result from HIV and AIDS. Specifically, food insecurity is strongly associated with higher risk sexual practices that actually put one at the risk of HIV acquisition. But for those who are already infected with HIV and AIDS, food insecurity is strongly associated with depression, decreased viral suppressions, and also decreased adherence to medication. Several of the interventions that are put in place to try and prevent infections and to stop disease progression have relied very heavily on biomedical approaches, example of the PrEPs that we know. But very few interventions have actually tried to tackle these issues through a multi-sectoral integrated approach like Shamba Maisha is trying to do. We developed a Shamba Maisha model that tries to actually combine the interventional components of agriculture and microfinance to try and really tackle the food insecurity and household wealth with a thought that they would have a direct impact on the primary and the secondary health outcomes of interest. And this is our model. Shamba Maisha is actually a clustered RCT that uses multi-sectoral agriculture and microfinance intervention to improve food security, household wealth, empowerment, HIV clinical outcomes, growth and development of children under ages of 5 living within these households, and also the psychosocial well-being of individuals that are affected with HIV and AIDS. Shamba Maisha, as it is today, is actually underway in 16 health facilities that are located in the western side of Kenya. And why the western side of Kenya, which is actually the area bordering Lake Victoria, is because that is the area that today has the highest prevalence of HIV and AIDS, that stands at 15% of the population. And participants who are HIV positive, who are actually between the ages of 18 and 60, who have access to farming land and open water sources, and have shown incidences of food insecurity and or malnutrition in the year preceding the study are actually eligible for enrollment into the study. And they should also have at least a child within the compound or in their household, a child that is below 5 years of age, so that we also look at the ripple effects of Shamba Maisha on growth and development of children ages below 5 in those households. The interventional components that are only issued to the interventional participants in the interventional sites include human-powered micro-irrigation pumps and its accessories, farm inputs and farm implements, agricultural training and financial management training to those participants, and HIV care and treatment that is actually given out to both the participant in the intervention and those ones who are in the control. Implementation of multi-sectoral intervention like Shamba Maisha is as confusing as I can see you're trying to make sense out of the slide that is now actually put up here. It is confusing because different partners that are coming actually to collaborate really do have very unique ways of measuring success. They really have very different interests. They have different sets of regulations that governs them, and they really do have different ways of incentivizing their participants. So if all these are not actually harnessed together, there would actually be an obstruction to collaboration and governance of a multi-sectoral intervention like Shamba Maisha. So we conducted an evaluation, very informal evaluation amongst the participants or the partners that are actually implementing Shamba Maisha to better understand the challenges, also to propose solutions, test them, and monitor them over a period of time. And in that informal evaluation, we actually came out with so many ideas, but were condensed into 3 major themes. One is that implementation of multi-sectoral agricultural or even multi-sectoral studies require collective impact approach to harmonize goals, to actually define shared measurements, and also to allocate roles and responsibility. If you have an intervention that actually does if you have a financial intervention, there is need for a nuanced understanding of credit in that. The lending institution should be actually also open to innovations that come with the implementation of the study. That implementation of an ANH researches also require thinking, and not just thinking, acting outside the normal global health paradigm. And they should really be truly transdisciplinary. Thank you very much.